Hello, welcome back to the channel. Folks, I've been thinking lately about virtual reality. No, hang on. Before I go on, let me just get myself out of here. That's better. Good to be back here. Anyways, in 2024, VR has had big swings, going from the side of Meta with their headsets and exclusives, and PlayStation VR 2, though not getting a single exclusive from PlayStation's own studio since launch, has been still getting great games on it, including for some reason getting exclusivity to Resident Evil 8 and Resident Evil 4 Remake VR. Seriously, why the fuck is it only on there?
It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
And of course, how can you forget their recent launch of their PC VR adapter, so you can use the headset to spread out to outside the console, so long as you got a PC that can handle it, and for some reason a proper Bluetooth connection that if you don't have it, you have to buy an extra Bluetooth adapter from the store for some fucking reason, because PlayStation couldn't figure it out, I guess. You know, the guys who made the headset. From there, of course, in general, VR is just picking up steam this year, and it really has me thinking, that being, holy shit, are we finally getting into VR's actual renaissance? Now, say what you will about VR. It's not for everyone. People will still get motion sickness or headaches from using the things for too long, and one of the big ones, at least for me, is exclusive games for just one VR headset. It's ridiculous, like, come on man. Resident Evil 8 and Resident Evil 4 Remake on PSVR 2 only? Seriously? Who's buying that headset? There are woes still with this market, but from where we started, it's truly been fantastic from its humble beginnings. I mean, let's not forget that less than 10 years ago, the Batman Arkham VR game we had was a point and click where you didn't even fight anyone. But now... Now, of course, this isn't another review of Batman Arkham Shadow. Or is it? No, I'm kidding. Or am I? As instead, this time I'll talk about VR in general, as I really think we've been finally hitting gold since I'd say 2023. Before that, we've of course had little gold nuggets, with great games being Beat Saber, Blade and Sorcery, Arizona Sunshine 1, and of course Half-Life Alyx. But with those games, it was the winnings from a claw machine after spending almost all your allowance for the month in the claw machine. I got myself a little fella from this finally. Yippee. Half-Life Alyx was the reason I finally got an Oculus with the Rift S, as we didn't get the Valve Index down under, but we did years later when EB Games sold it for about $1,800, but that would have been more of a worse decision than buying a PSVR 1 for the PS5 now. Actually, I take that back. I think Valve Index is still the better decision of the two. Just don't worry about feeding your family for a while if you buy it. Since 2023, I'd say eyes have darted back to VR more, not just from Meta going all in and hopefully continuing to go all in, but with PSVR 2 as well. And though, like I said, say what you will about the headset's price and the fact it costs more than a PS5 console, it is a new starting point for people that are interested in VR. However, I do say that, but that really isn't the case anymore, as Meta continues to remove requirements for joining them, with soon after the Oculus Rift S release, they started releasing their future of the mainline VR headsets with Oculus/Meta Quest headsets, removing the requirements of needing any gaming rig to play your library of VR games, so long as you have the games with Meta or Steam via Steam Link. With you now being able to buy into VR, and if you've been a Quest 3 owner since last year, and even a Quest 2 owner, you've been treated good, as long as you've stuck around. Since 2023, we've had Assassin's Creed Nexus, Asgard's Wrath 2, Arizona Sunshine 2, Vampire the Masquerade, Ghostbusters, and Resident Evil 4 Original. I'm kidding. Resident Evil 4 VR Original came out in 2021, not 2023. That was Remake, which once again I ask, why the fuck isn't the Remake on PC and MetaQuest yet? And Resident Evil 8?
It's not fair!
And now, this year, Batman Arkham Shadow, Metro Awakening, Vendetta Forever, Metal Hellsinger VR, Behemoth, Alien Rogue Incursion, Max Mustard, Bulletstorm VR, which launched very rocky but has since been updated to work much better thankfully, and of course, the pinnacle one, Trombone Champ. I mean, perfection. These and many more games have released, and even then, older games are still updated to this day to support newer hardware, as games like Beat Saber are still hits. Blade and Sorcery, a game released in early access in 2018, is finally fully released. Arizona Sunshine 1, one of the earliest big-name VR games, received a remake that is discounted if you own the original, and The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, though nothing crazy, has received support for both PSVR 2 and MetaQuest 3. And even though this game requires a PC, if you can, there is also of course Half-Life Alyx, one of the best VR games ever, and thanks to that game I got hooked further into VR gaming. As I said before, though Rift S was my first real deep experience with VR, I still was a person who bought a PSVR 1. But let me tell you, going from a PSVR 1 to PC VR was very eye-opening. This whole video has really been glazing about VR, but I mean, what did we really expect, you and I, from a video titled VR's Renaissance Year? In all seriousness though, someone's gotta bring light to gaming spaces once in a while, and I'm bringing some love over to virtual reality reality for once, especially if you don't own a headset yet, because you can not only get a Quest free, but they give you Batman Arkham Shadow for free with it. I mean, need I say more? That's a long-ass Batman Arkham game for you with your headset, and a much better deal than just buying a PSVR 2, or you pay an extra $100+ to get Horizon with your PSVR 2, if the headset's still in stock at this point when the video comes out. Oh hey, it still is. Huh, well that's good. Oh, but not the Horizon one. Moving on. This does have me asking the question, and I'm sure you ask as well, what's next? Like my previous video not long ago, literally last week, on console generation refreshes, VR has had a good run of games for the past 2 years recently, but that comes out of fear of, this has been fantastic, but what does 2025 bring? As problems come from VR, with it still not profitable for Meta, studios being shut down like Ready at Dawn, PlayStation barely competing in the space as they've only released 2 proper PSVR 2 exclusives, excluding the Resident Evil games, and when new competition does come out, it's almost immediately laughed out of the room, especially when they try to charge people a month's worth of rent in Australia. I mean, just fuck off with that price. Quick side tangent though, as I was writing this review, I thought this headset cost $3,000. It does not in Australia. What a fucking joke! But like I said, what is next for VR in 2025? I'm not fully sure just yet. The next big release in 2025 will be that Hitman 3 is getting PSVR 2 support come early next year, but I'm not fully sure on after that. But that's not to say it's over before it begins. VR may still be this niche market, but now more than ever, it's more freely available for people to join and see what's going on. With newcomers hopping in now thanks to Christmas or Boxing Day sales, there's tons to check out with the future hopefully a great time as well. And for people that already own headsets, such as people called owners, it's time to get through your backlogs if you haven't already. Or if you have gotten through them, soon enough more will come to the games you love. By the start of next year for Quest 3 alone, Alien Rogue Incursion will be released and Prayers Answered Arkham Shadow will receive New Game Plus mode. The future is still bright I feel for VR, and it's not all doom and gloom. Like I said, I never expected 2024 or 2023 to be such great times for VR, so 2025, we shall see what they've got up their sleeves. Especially as someone who before 2023 was playing games in just flat screen after Half-Life Alyx. Of course I still do play flat screen, but you know what I mean, just getting more into it. Now more than ever I'm in VR playing games, even being one of those guys that adds onto the headset so I can play for longer and be more comfy. That's not a requirement of course, but I like to play for a good while when I'm there. Oh, and also another side thing, not something everyone will use, but Xbox has cloud gaming support with Quest headsets. I've used it a couple times and it works well. I would not use it all the time since I don't want to, and it would also scare my girlfriend into thinking I've been taking away into the metaverse. You know, like forever kind of like that one Iron Man comic where he forces Pepper Potts into a suit of iron, like he has, and they melt into this beautiful iron creation he has been consumed and loved by, as they both decide to finally be. VR gaming is great. In short though, and to wrap up this video, VR is really hitting home runs lately, and from having humble beginnings where it was mainly tech demo games and workout games, VR has really been doing fantastic more and more each year, and I for one am in for whatever is next, especially if it involves sequels to Batman Arkham Shadow. Are you a VR owner? If you are, what do you use and what do you love to play? If you aren't into VR, that's all good. You're welcome to stick around as I talk about more than just VR. What else you ask? Well, check the channel out further. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos real soon as we head into the new year with plenty to come for videos. But as I always say, thanks for watching everyone, it's appreciated.